Yo, what up YouTube? Welcome back to the video. Today's video, I'll be giving you guys the evolution of Gibraltar. I'll be showing you guys his nerfs, his buffs, and my take on which season Gibraltar was best in. Now, I'm not going to be basing this off of any of the weapons or the map changes that Gibraltar worked with. It's simply off of his abilities and the buffs and nerfs at those point in times, and which ones I think were a good match for Gibby, and which ones I think were kind of OP. So I'll be giving you guys pretty much the rundown of best season, the worst season at the very end. But I'll be giving you guys pretty much the evolution first of what all was changed throughout Gibraltar seasons. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you guys want to see kind of more of these kind of style videos. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, let's start off with Gibraltar in preseason. Now, this is when the game first launched. This is no changes yet throughout the 3 years. This is Gibraltar's base stats. Um, so start off with the gun shield, 50 HP is what it currently is today. 15-second dome shield duration, it's currently 12 seconds, so only a 3-second difference. Dome shield cooldown was 20 seconds, currently 30 seconds, so a big difference right there. That's a whole 10 seconds, which is a long time, especially in between fights. Defensive bombardment cooldown was 4.5 minutes, and that's what it currently is. There are some changes throughout the seasons with the alt. So Gibraltar in preseason, to pretty much break it down, it was a season where Gibby did not fight close range at all. It was not smart to, and that's why people still have the mindset of Gibby should be far range and not up close, because he didn't have any fortified. And whenever you're fighting close range and you're fighting someone that had like an R9 or whatever the SMG is at the time, it was just not fun to go against because they had hit every shot and you get one clipped. Same thing with PKs. You get two tapped by PK, you get hit for 110, you got dropped. So it was not fun playing close range. This is when I use only heavy weapons. I'd use like a flatline or a Spitfire and like a longbow at this current time. Also wingman too. But I kept my distance. So season one, for all the three Gibby mains out there, was an absolute blessing. We got Fortified passive perk. This was for both Gibby and Caustic because of how big their hitboxes were. That 10% less damage taken was absolutely huge, well needed. His gun shield also got a buff of extra 25 health, so it went from 50 to 75. Absolutely massive buff, well needed as well, because when you go from preseason when Gibraltar was absolutely a joke to play, kind of similar to how Mirage is currently, Gibraltar was just a joke to play. You literally played Gibby as a meme, and season one Gibby got a little more serious. People had to actually watch out for Gibby's because of the fortified and the extra health on the arm shield. So this current time I start using a little more close range weapons. I still use longbows and stuff like that. I didn't stop using snipers for a little while, but I still never really used shotguns because I really wasn't that comfortable with the damage taken yet. So season two is when I start getting comfortable with shotguns and I start using them a little more. And that is because his damage reduction increased from 10% to 15%. So the fortified perk got even more of a buff. So Caustic and Gibby, absolutely loving life. Fortified legends are now immune to slow effects from weapon fire. So that's what it currently is today. Whenever you get shot as like a wraith or something like that with a flatline, you get a little stunned and it's hard to pretty much get out of cover fire or just pretty much get out of fire in general. Now with Gibby and Caustic, they can just keep running and keep trucking and just go through that. So it really made Gibby and Caustic good legends to fight up close and pretty much make them more a little like mobile, like a wraith or like a pathfinder. So they had like a little more movement, kind of like more of escape, just because they wouldn't get slowed. Dome of protection increased duration by 3 seconds. So your dome went from 15 seconds to 18 seconds of duration. So you're able to be near your dome shield as you throw it for a whole 18 seconds. That's absolutely insane to think about today because of how short a time it is. So this was absolutely fun to fight in bubbles. Now in season two, this is when hammer points and disruptor rounds were a thing. So Gibby getting all these buffs were absolutely huge, and this was the first ranked season. So Gibby started to make a big presence in the pro scene and ranked and somewhat in pubs in general because of how good he was. So he went from the worst to pretty much one of the best in season two. Season three, even more buffs. Dome shield players and the dome shield use healing items 25% faster. That's an absolutely insane buff, but it wasn't just for Gibby, it was for all legends. So anyone that was in the bubble could heal faster. So a lot of people thought this was a little broken for Gibby to have that because it's a buff to him, but people were in the wrong mindset of only pretty much Gibby could do it when in reality everyone on his team can do it. So if you had a Gibby, you could heal a lot faster. It was a lot smarter just to play Gibby just for that extra fast healing, especially if you didn't have gold bag. The extra 25% healing was huge. Increased throw distance by 60%. This was able to kind of jumpstart me being able to do bubble pushes. Season 3 was all about me fighting in the bubble currently, like all the time. And that distance thrown was huge to be able to push forward into fights and be able to make plays as Gibby, make him more of a mobile legend again. Increased cooldown from 20 seconds to 30 seconds. This was a huge hit, but again, when you get able to heal faster in it and you're able to throw it a lot further, it kind of does need a balance, and that was a good balance. I wish that was kind of changed today, but kind of a oh well situation. Now the bombardment, again, another buff. It went from 4.5 minutes to 3 minutes. Absolutely huge. It just feel like it took forever. At this current time, again, when Gibby was really bad, and it just felt like it took forever to get his ult back. And this is when World's Edge became a map, and it was just a big open map with a lot of like areas to throw it. So it was good to have this. Decrease duration from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. So the ult used to last for 8 seconds total. When you throw it down, it lasts for a whole 8 seconds. They decrease that to 6 seconds, but you're able to throw the ult a little further. So that was a huge buff. Season 3. Going into Season 4, you were able to revive teammates faster in the dome. This made Gibby absolutely absurd in Season 4. But his gun shield got a nerf from 75 to 50. But at this point, it really didn't matter because the reason why they had to buff it before is because he just got hit so hard because of how big his hitbox was. But now with the fortified perk, going from 75 to 50 is absolutely well needed. And at this point in time, Gibby has so many passives. He has the faster reviving in the bubble. He has the faster healing in the bubble. So that's just 2 passive alone in the bubble. He has his arm shield, which is supposed to be his original passive. He has fortified, which is part of the fortified perk for both Gibby and Caustic. And also with the fortified perk, you get another passive of not being slowed by bullets. So that's 5 total passives for Gibby at this time, which is a lot of passives to have for one legend. So it was absolutely insane. So going to Season 5, reduce dome shield duration from 18 to 12. Now this was when Gibraltar got hit hard with a nerf. Again, when you go after buff at the buff, people were complaining, and at this point in time, you weren't good at like Season 3, Season 4. If you played Gibby, you used them as a crutch kind of thing, which was insulting for the players that use them pretty much preseason throughout the whole duration of Apex. So he got a huge nerf with the dome shield. So went from 18 seconds to being able to fight in it to 12 seconds. And the healing faster went from 25 to 15. So the healing faster in the bubble got decreased as well. So it just, again, nerf and a nerf. Season 5 was just a big hit to Gibby. Well needed though, because if you think about it, being able to heal a lot faster for anybody in the bubble was insane. But again, huge nerf after all those buffs. Season 6, defensive bombardment. Again, another nerf on top of the previous one. Season 6, it got hit hard again. So the cooldown went from 3 minutes back to 4.5 minutes, which it currently is today. Season 7, there was no change. There was no change in Season 7. It was pretty much like a thank you, because it was buff, 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 and then it got nerfed, and it's like, great, Season 7, we're going to get nerfed again. Instead, we got an heirloom, so we got rewarded for all of our pain throughout 5 and 6. So Season 8, dome protection removed the healing, so there's no longer fast healing. So they give us a heirloom, and then the next season they're like, you know what, we're taking away your healing, so no more fast healing. This is another nerf again. Incoming damage from the shield, pretty much like the arm shield, count as Evo shield, which not that big of a deal, but again, the damage that exceeds that gun shield, 50 HP, will now bleed through to Gibraltar. So being able to people to farm your arm shield for their shields, it was no longer kind of rewarding just to peek with your arm shield, shoot a little shots, and they just break your arm shield and you hide, because that pretty much lets them build up their shields now. So that was kind of a nerf in general, because you could sit there and just hold up your arm shield, shoot them for like 3 or 4 times, and then now it's one of those things where your arm shield actually counts as damage and it helps towards evos. damage that exceeds the gun shield. Again, the bleed through was a big change. It affected a lot of players. It still affects a lot of players because they don't really know how to get out of the way with Gibby and his arm shield. Before, you could just stand out in the open, keep firing, your arm shield breaks, then you can go back to cover. Now you have to start firing, and as you're getting shot at, you want to start rotating as you're still ADSing behind cover, because as soon as the arm shield breaks, you're starting to get hit immediately. Um, so before, bleed through damage, you can stay out a little longer. Now you kind of have to get back a little quicker. So again, another nerf, season 8, and after that, there's been no changes, unless I absolutely forgot something. I don't think there's been any changes to Gibby, as current state. And from season 9, 10, 11, 12, if he hasn't got changed, I'm pretty sure he hasn't got changed. That just shows he's in a good spot, and there's no need to nerf or buff him. All right, guys, as I was saying before, I was going to give you guys the best to the worst season. As you guys see in front of me, season 4, by far the best season. This is probably the best time to play Gibby. If you ever played Apex the entire time, season 4 was the best time to play Gibby. For the reason of he had 5 passives. Number 1 being his arm shield, of course. Number 2 being fortified, which gives you 15% less damage taken, and also on top of that, you get the immune to slow from bullets, like flatlines and stuff like that. So that's 3 already. And then the bubble had 2 inside of it itself. So if you had the bubble active, one of the passives was faster healing in the bubble for anybody, and then the 5th one was the faster reviving. Gibby could fast revive teammates, and only Gibby could. So that's why season 4 Gibby was probably the best season to play Gibby. Season 3 I have second, for the simple fact that in season 5, his duration of the bubble went from 18 seconds to 12 seconds. So that was a huge hit for if you like to play in bubbles, which season 3 was start my bubble fighting. So going from 18 to 12 seconds was a huge hit. And also on top of that, the faster healing got nerfed from 25 to 15, and that actually was 25 in season 3. So that's why season 3 is going to be second on my list. Season 2 I have in front of season 5 for the simple fact of, again, that 18-second of dome duration. I feel like it's a lot more important than having fast healing, because you still have the fortified that got buffed that season, and you also have the immune of to slow weapon fire. So that was all that was buffed in season 2, and the only thing between season 2 and season 5 was pretty much the nerf to the healing, which season 2 didn't have that, and a nerf to the duration of the bubble. So I feel like the duration of the bubble is a lot more than that, a lot more important. So season 2 is going to be third. Season 5, again, it nerfed what happened in season 3 and season 4, but it's still really good in season 5. So that's why season 5 is fourth on the list. Season 6, I currently have it because the ultimate got nerfed. So after the season is when the nerfs start happening. Season 6, the ult went from 3 minutes, of course, to 4.5 minutes. So that's why it's going to be behind season 5. Season 7, nothing happened. So there's no reason to put anywhere besides, getting the heirloom. So that's what makes it a little special. Season 8, again, that was filled with a lot of nerfs. So really, from season 8 to season 12, there's no changes. And the reason why I have season 1 so far down on the list is, again, at this current time, the fortify was only at 10%, and you got an arm shield of 75. So you didn't have any of the extra passives like you currently do. So that's why season 1 is so far down the list, because at this current time, only had 2 passives, and the fortified was only 10%, wasn't 15%. Even though the arm shield's at 75, I still feel like getting slowed and stuff like that was a big change. So not being able to get slowed was huge. So that's why season 1's so far down the list. And of course, preseason is by far the worst time to play Gibby. This was not fun being a Gibby main at this time. Season 1 preseason was not a fun experience. It was extremely hard to play, and it took a lot of skill to play Gibby at this current time. As you guys know, season 3, season 4, season 2. So season 2 through 4 pretty much were the best seasons to play. If you guys play Gibby during the season, it was really easy to learn, really easy to play, and he was absolutely broken. That's why he started getting hit hard in 5, 6, and 8, because he absolutely needed some changes, because of how many people use him, just because of how good he was and how broken he was. So at those current times, it kind of sucked to play Gibby because people didn't see it as skill anymore. They thought you were just using him because he's a broken character. But in reality, if you played him since preseason, you had to deal with a lot to get to that point of season 4. So again, season 4, by far the best season to play. That's when I switched over to PC. I played season 4 split on Xbox. The first split, second split, I switched to PC. I'm a bot. And it was a good transition because it was probably the best Gibby's ever been, and he was really OP. So it was a really good transition to try to compete in the PC lobbies and learn from there. So that has to do it for this video. If you guys want more of these kind of videos with other legends, let me know. Give me some other legends in the comments below. And if I missed any of the changes between season 9 and 12, please let me know. I really couldn't find anything about it. And as I remember from being a Gibby main, the only thing I can remember changed was the bleed through damage, which was in season 8. So after that, I don't really remember any changes to Gibby. So in the comments, let me know what you guys think about this video. If you guys want to see more of this. So peace out, much love, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.